Have you ever experienced betrayal by someone you trusted deeply? Perhaps it was a friend, a colleague, or even a loved one. Betrayal is one of the most painful experiences we can endure, and it often leaves us questioning not just the other person, but also ourselves. What went wrong? Could it have been prevented? And what lessons can we learn from such moments? The sting of betrayal resonates across all eras, cultures, and relationships. It cuts deep, leaving scars that can last a lifetime. In this video, we will delve into one of history's most infamous stories of betrayal, the story of Delilah and Samson. This timeless narrative, found in the book of Judges, chapter 16, has captivated readers for centuries. Delilah, a woman known for her cunning and charm, played a pivotal role in the downfall of Samson, one of the Bible's most legendary figures. Her actions are not only shocking but also deeply instructive. Through her story, we gain insight into the dynamics of trust, manipulation, and consequence. To provide some background, Samson was a man of extraordinary strength, chosen by God to be a judge and deliverer for the Israelites. His strength was unparalleled, and his exploits, from slaying a lion with his bare hands to defeating armies, were the stuff of legend. But Samson had a weakness, his heart. Despite his divine calling, he often found himself entangled in relationships that distracted him from his mission. One such relationship was with Delilah. Delilah, a Philistine woman, entered Samson's life with charm and allure. She gained his trust and affection, positioning herself as someone he could confide in. However, her motives were far from pure. The Philistine leaders, eager to neutralize Samson's threat to their power, offered Delilah a substantial sum of money to uncover the secret of his strength. Delilah accepted, setting the stage for one of the most dramatic betrayals in biblical history. But why should we care about this story today? What relevance does it have in the 21st century? The truth is, Delilah's actions mirror behaviors and patterns that are still prevalent in our relationships. Whether it's in friendships, romantic partnerships, or professional settings, the dynamics of trust and betrayal remain universal. Delilah's story offers a lens through which we can examine our own actions and those of others. Are we building trust, or are we exploiting it? Are we motivated by love and integrity, or by selfish gain? The purpose of this video is clear: to learn from Delilah's actions and avoid similar mistakes in our own lives. By understanding her choices, we can equip ourselves to navigate relationships with wisdom and discernment. Delilah's story is not just a cautionary tale. It is a mirror reflecting the complexities of human behavior and the consequences of our decisions. In the next 30 minutes, we will explore 5 key actions of Delilah that hold crucial lessons for us today. These actions are not just isolated events in an ancient narrative. They are reflections of tendencies that can emerge in any relationship. As we analyze each action, we will uncover the motivations behind them, the impact they had on Samson, and the enduring lessons they offer. Here are some of the questions we will address. What led Delilah to betray Samson? How did her actions reveal the dynamics of manipulation and deceit? What can we learn about trust, loyalty, and the importance of setting boundaries? And perhaps most importantly, how can we apply these lessons to ensure healthier and more fulfilling relationships? This story invites us to reflect on our own experiences. Have you ever been in Samson's position, trusting someone only to be betrayed? Or have you found yourself in Delilah's shoes, tempted to prioritize personal gain over integrity? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary ones. By engaging with this story, we can uncover deeper truths about ourselves and our relationships. So, what were Delilah's 5 key actions, and how can they apply to us today? Stay with us as we journey through this powerful narrative, uncovering timeless lessons that can transform the way we approach trust and relationships. Let's begin. Action 1. Exploiting trust for personal gain. Trust is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. It binds people together, fostering a sense of safety and mutual understanding. But what happens when that trust is exploited for selfish reasons? The story of Delilah and Samson provides a powerful example of the devastating effects of such betrayal. In Judges 16, we are introduced to a pivotal moment in the relationship between Delilah and Samson. Delilah, a Philistine woman, entered Samson's life during a time when the Philistines sought to destroy him. Samson was known for his unmatched strength, which made him a formidable threat to their power. The Philistine leaders saw an opportunity in Delilah. They approached her with a proposition: uncover the secret of Samson's strength, and they would reward her with a substantial sum of money, 1,100 pieces of silver from each leader. This was no small amount. It represented a life-changing fortune. Delilah's decision to accept this offer marked a turning point. Rather than valuing the trust and affection Samson had placed in her, she prioritized material gain. Her actions were calculated and persistent. Delilah did not immediately succeed in uncovering Samson's secret. Instead, she employed a strategy of manipulation, using her position as someone Samson trusted to repeatedly press him for the truth. The steps of betrayal. Delilah's approach to betraying Samson was not a single act but a series of calculated moves designed to erode his defenses. Each step in her manipulation reveals the depth of her intent. Emotional manipulation. Delilah began by appealing to Samson's emotions, asking him to reveal the secret of his strength as a sign of his love and trust. She framed her request in a way that questioned his feelings for her, saying, "How can you say, 'I love you,' when you won't confide in me?" Judges 16 verse 15. This tactic placed Samson in a vulnerable position, making him feel that withholding the truth was equivalent to betraying their relationship. Persistence despite failure. When Samson initially gave false answers, Delilah did not give up. She continued to press him, testing his responses and feigning disappointment each time she realized he had misled her. Her persistence was relentless, wearing down Samson's resolve. Exploitation of Samson's vulnerability. Delilah waited for a moment when Samson was emotionally and physically exhausted. The Bible describes how she tormented him with her nagging day after day until he was sick to death of it, Judges verse 16. This illustrates how she used persistence as a weapon, exploiting Samson's vulnerability to achieve her goal. Ultimately, Samson succumbed to Delilah's relentless pressure and revealed the truth: his strength was tied to his uncut hair, a symbol of his Nazirite vow to God. This moment of trust, born out of emotional weariness, was immediately betrayed. Delilah wasted no time in acting on the information. She arranged for Samson's hair to be cut while he slept, effectively stripping him of his divine strength and delivering him into the hands of the Philistines. The impact of betrayal. Delilah's betrayal had profound consequences, not just for Samson but for herself and the broader narrative. For Samson, this act of betrayal led to his capture, humiliation, and eventual loss of sight. The man who had been a judge and deliverer for Israel found himself enslaved and mocked by his enemies. However, the impact extended beyond physical suffering. Samson's trust, once freely given, was shattered, leaving a legacy of pain and caution for future generations. For Delilah, her actions secured her immediate financial reward, but at what cost? While the Bible does not provide details about her fate, her name has become synonymous with treachery and selfishness. Her choice to exploit trust for personal gain left an indelible mark on her character and reputation. Lessons for today. What can we learn from Delilah's actions? Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of honesty and trust in relationships. Here are 3 key lessons. Trust is precious and fragile. Building trust takes time, but it can be destroyed in an instant. Delilah's actions remind us of the devastating effects of betrayal. In our relationships, we must prioritize trust and guard it carefully, recognizing its value. Beware of manipulation. Delilah's use of emotional manipulation highlights the importance of being vigilant against such tactics. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and transparency, not coercion or deceit. The consequences of selfishness. While Delilah gained material wealth, her legacy is one of infamy. Her story warns us about the dangers of placing personal gain above moral integrity. True fulfillment comes from nurturing relationships, not exploiting them. Reflection questions. As we reflect on Delilah's actions, it is worth asking ourselves: have we ever placed our own desires above the trust others have placed in us? How can we ensure that our relationships are built on honesty and mutual respect? Are we vigilant against manipulation, both in ourselves and in others? Delilah's story is a stark reminder of the power and responsibility that come with trust. Let us strive to honor the trust we are given, building relationships that reflect love, integrity, and faithfulness. Action 2. Persistence in wrongdoing. Persistence is often celebrated as a virtue. It reflects determination, resilience, and the willingness to overcome obstacles. However, when persistence is applied to harmful or unethical goals, it becomes a dangerous trait. In the story of Delilah and Samson, we witness how relentless persistence, when misaligned with morality, leads to betrayal and destruction. Delilah's persistence in her quest to uncover the secret of Samson's strength is both alarming and revealing. After being approached by the Philistine leaders and offered a substantial reward, Delilah committed herself to this task with unyielding determination. Despite repeated failures, she did not waver. Each failed attempt only strengthened her resolve, highlighting the dangerous potential of persistence when it serves a destructive purpose. Repeated attempts to deceive Samson. The Bible recounts how Delilah continuously pressed Samson for the secret of his strength. At first, Samson toyed with her inquiries, giving false answers to test her intentions. For example, he told her that binding him with fresh bowstrings would render him powerless. Delilah followed this instruction. But when Samson easily broke free, it became clear that he had not revealed the truth. Undeterred, Delilah continued her efforts. Each time, she approached Samson with feigned affection and concern, attempting to manipulate him into revealing his secret. Her persistence escalated with each interaction. 1. Feigning love and vulnerability, Delilah used emotional manipulation to press Samson. She questioned his love for her, framing his reluctance to share his secret as a lack of trust. In Judges 16 verse 15, she lamented, "How can you say, 'I love you,' when your heart is not with me?" This appeal to Samson's emotions was a calculated move to make him feel guilty and obligated to share his secret. 2. Persistence despite resistance, even when Samson repeatedly misled her. Delilah did not give up. She tried different tactics, from pleading to testing his false answers, demonstrating an unwavering commitment to her goal. 3. Relentless nagging and pressure. The Bible vividly describes how Delilah's persistence wore Samson down. Judges 16 verse 16 states, "With such nagging, she prodded him day after day until he was sick to death of it." Her constant pressure eroded Samson's resolve, leading him to reveal the truth. The relentless pursuit of betrayal. Delilah's unyielding pursuit of Samson's secret was not driven by love or loyalty but by greed and self-interest. Her persistence reveals several alarming traits. 1. Manipulative intentions. Delilah's actions were calculated and deceitful. She exploited her relationship with Samson, using emotional appeals and persistence to achieve her goal. 2. Lack of ethical boundaries. Despite Samson's clear discomfort and resistance, Delilah showed no regard for his feelings or well-being. Her actions demonstrate a total disregard for moral and ethical considerations. 3. Short-term gains over long-term consequences. Delilah's focus was solely on the immediate reward offered by the Philistines. She failed to consider the broader implications of her actions, including the impact on her relationship with Samson and her own legacy. Lessons on persistence and ethics. Delilah's story offers a powerful lesson about the importance of aligning persistence with moral and ethical goals. While determination is often a valuable trait, it becomes dangerous when applied to harmful purposes. Here are 3 key takeaways. 1. Persistence must serve a greater good. True persistence is rooted in positive and ethical intentions. Delilah's actions remind us that persistence without integrity can lead to harm and betrayal. Before committing to a goal, we must ask ourselves whether it aligns with our values and contributes to the well-being of others. 2. Respecting boundaries in relationships. Delilah's relentless pressure violated the trust and boundaries within her relationship with Samson. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding, not manipulation or coercion. 3. The long-term impact of actions. Delilah's pursuit of short-term rewards blinded her to the long-term consequences of her actions. Her legacy is one of infamy, serving as a cautionary tale about the dangers of prioritizing immediate gains over lasting values. Reflection questions. As we reflect on Delilah's persistence in wrongdoing, it is worth considering how we apply persistence in our own lives. Are our goals aligned with our values and ethical principles? Do we respect the boundaries and feelings of others in our pursuit of success? How do we balance determination with empathy and integrity? Delilah's actions serve as a stark reminder that persistence, when misaligned with morality, can lead to devastating outcomes. Let us strive to use our determination for good, building relationships and pursuing goals that reflect our highest values. By aligning persistence with ethics, we can achieve not only success but also a legacy of trust and respect. Action 3. Betraying someone who loved you. Betrayal is one of the deepest wounds a person can inflict upon another, especially when it comes from someone who is loved and trusted. In the story of Delilah and Samson, we see the ultimate betrayal, one that not only shattered the bond between them but also led to devastating consequences for Samson. Delilah's decision to betray Samson by revealing his secret and orchestrating his capture is a powerful reminder of how betrayal destroys relationships and leaves lasting scars. The act of betrayal. After persistently pressuring Samson to reveal the secret of his strength, Delilah finally succeeded. In Judges 16 verse 17, we read that Samson, weary from her constant nagging, confided in her, saying, "No razor has ever been used on my head," explaining that his strength was tied to his uncut hair, a symbol of his Nazirite vow to God. This moment of vulnerability and trust was immediately exploited by Delilah. Instead of cherishing the confidence Samson had placed in her, she acted with cold calculation. Delilah wasted no time. She informed the Philistine leaders of Samson's secret, ensuring her reward. That very night, while Samson was asleep, she arranged for his hair to be cut. With his strength gone, Samson was helpless against the Philistines, who captured, blinded, and enslaved him. This act of betrayal was not only personal but also spiritual, as it severed Samson's connection to his divine purpose. The emotional consequences of betrayal. For Samson, Delilah's betrayal was a profound emotional blow. Here was a woman he loved and trusted, someone he believed he could confide in. To have that trust violated in such a calculated and ruthless manner would have been devastating. Betrayal by a loved one often leads to feelings of heartbreak, humiliation, and a deep sense of loss. Samson's capture and subsequent suffering were not just physical but emotional and spiritual as well. On a broader level, Delilah's betrayal highlights the fragility of trust in relationships. When someone we love betrays us, it can leave us questioning not only the other person but also ourselves. For Samson, the betrayal undermined his confidence and stripped him of the strength and purpose that had defined his life. The spiritual consequences of betrayal. Delilah's actions had significant spiritual implications. By revealing Samson's secret, she played a role in breaking his Nazirite vow, a covenant between Samson and God. This was not just a betrayal of Samson as an individual but also of the divine calling on his life. Samson's capture by the Philistines marked a turning point in his spiritual journey. Separated from his strength and blinded by his captors, Samson was forced to confront the consequences of his choices and the betrayal that had brought him to this point. For Delilah, the spiritual consequences of her betrayal are equally significant. While the Bible does not elaborate on her fate, her actions have left her name synonymous with treachery and deceit. She gained material wealth from the Philistines, but at the cost of her integrity and the destruction of her relationship with Samson. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the spiritual cost of prioritizing selfish desires over love and loyalty. Lessons on betrayal. Delilah's ultimate betrayal offers important lessons about the nature of trust and the consequences of violating it. Here are 3 key takeaways. 1. Betrayal destroys relationships. Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Once broken, it is incredibly difficult to repair. Delilah's actions not only ended her relationship with Samson but also caused irreparable harm to his life and mission. 2. Betrayal damages personal character. While Delilah gained wealth, she lost her integrity. Her name is remembered not as a symbol of love or loyalty but as one of treachery. This reminds us that the consequences of betrayal often extend beyond the immediate moment, shaping how we are remembered and judged by others. 3. Love requires responsibility. True love involves protecting and uplifting the person we care about. Delilah's betrayal highlights the importance of being responsible with the trust and vulnerability of others. Love without responsibility is hollow and ultimately destructive. Reflection questions. As we consider the story of Delilah's betrayal, it is worth reflecting on our own relationships and actions. Have we ever betrayed the trust of someone who loved us? If so, how can we work to repair the harm we've caused? Are there areas in our lives where we prioritize selfish desires over loyalty and integrity? How can we ensure that our actions align with the principles of love, trust, and responsibility? Delilah's betrayal of Samson serves as a stark reminder of the power and responsibility that comes with trust. Her story challenges us to examine our own actions and strive to build relationships based on honesty, loyalty, and mutual respect. By learning from her mistakes, we can avoid the destructive consequences of betrayal and cultivate connections that honor the love and trust we share with others. Action 4. Prioritizing material gain over spiritual values. Material wealth has always been a powerful motivator for human behavior. The allure of riches can cloud judgment and compromise integrity, often leading to decisions that prioritize immediate gain over lasting values. In the story of Delilah and Samson, we see a stark example of this. Delilah chose monetary reward over love and loyalty, a choice that had devastating consequences for both Samson and herself. Delilah's pursuit of wealth. In Judges 16, the Philistine leaders approached Delilah with a proposition. Uncover the secret of Samson's strength, and they would pay her 1,100 pieces of silver from each of them. This was not a small sum. It represented extraordinary wealth and likely the promise of a life of comfort and security. For Delilah, this offer became her primary focus, overshadowing any affection or loyalty she might have had for Samson. What is most striking about Delilah's decision is the clarity of her intent. She did not hesitate or wrestle with the moral implications of her actions. Instead, she systematically pursued Samson's secret, viewing his trust and vulnerability as mere obstacles to achieving her financial goal. Her choice to prioritize material gain over spiritual and relational values highlights a fundamental conflict that is still relevant today. The consequences of prioritizing wealth. Delilah's actions had immediate and far-reaching consequences. For Samson, the betrayal led to his capture, humiliation, and suffering. The Philistines blinded him, enslaved him, and used him as a source of entertainment. The man who had been chosen by God to deliver Israel found himself reduced to a shadow of his former self. All because someone he loved valued money over his well-being. For Delilah, the consequences were less visible but equally profound. While she may have gained the wealth promised by the Philistines, she lost something far more valuable: her integrity. Her name has become synonymous with treachery and greed, a lasting legacy that overshadows any material comfort she might have enjoyed. The Bible does not provide details about her life after Samson's capture, but it is clear that her choice to prioritize material wealth over spiritual principles came at a significant cost. The dangers of valuing material gain over spiritual principles. Delilah's story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of placing material wealth above spiritual values. Here are 3 key dangers illustrated by her actions. 1. Erosion of integrity. When material gain becomes the primary focus, it often leads to compromises in character. Delilah's betrayal of Samson was not just an act of deceit, it was a fundamental rejection of the values of loyalty, love, and integrity. Over time, such compromises can erode a person's moral foundation, leaving them empty despite their material success. 2. Damage to relationships. Delilah's actions destroyed her relationship with Samson and caused immense harm to him. Prioritizing wealth over relationships often leads to broken trust and isolation. The bonds that give life meaning are sacrificed for temporary gains, leaving behind a trail of pain and regret. 3. Spiritual consequences. Delilah's choice to betray Samson was not just a personal failing, it was a spiritual one. By aligning herself with the Philistines and betraying a man chosen by God, she positioned herself against divine purposes. This serves as a reminder that prioritizing material wealth can distance us from our spiritual values and calling. The enduring value of spiritual principles. In contrast to the fleeting nature of material wealth, spiritual values offer enduring meaning and fulfillment. Here are 3 lessons we can draw from Delilah's story. 1. Love and integrity are priceless. The relationships we build and the integrity we maintain are far more valuable than any amount of money. Delilah's story reminds us to cherish and protect these intangible treasures, as they define our character and legacy. 2. Material wealth is temporary. While money can provide comfort and security, it is ultimately transient. Spiritual principles, on the other hand, have lasting impact, shaping not only our lives but also the lives of those around us. 3. Aligning with divine purpose. Delilah's betrayal of Samson highlights the importance of aligning our actions with spiritual values and divine purposes. When we prioritize God's calling over material gain, we find true fulfillment and peace. Reflection questions. As we reflect on Delilah's actions, it is worth considering how we prioritize our own values. Are there areas in our lives where we compromise integrity for financial gain? How do we balance the pursuit of material success with the preservation of spiritual principles? What steps can we take to ensure that our decisions reflect our highest values? Delilah's story is a powerful reminder of the consequences of prioritizing material gain over spiritual values. Her choices offer a cautionary tale that challenges us to examine our own motivations and align our actions with the principles that truly matter. By placing love, integrity, and spiritual purpose at the center of our lives, we can avoid the pitfalls of greed and build a legacy of lasting value. Action 5. Lack of awareness of consequences. One of the most striking aspects of Delilah's story is her apparent lack of awareness regarding the long-term consequences of her actions. While her betrayal of Samson may have seemed like a short-term gain, the ripple effects of her choices extended far beyond what she might have anticipated. Her decision to trade loyalty and love for material wealth not only impacted Samson but also shaped her own legacy in ways that she likely did not foresee. Delilah's miscalculation. Delilah's immediate goal was clear: to uncover the secret of Samson's strength in exchange for a substantial financial reward from the Philistine leaders. In achieving this, she displayed cunning and persistence, ultimately succeeding in her task. However, what Delilah failed to consider were the broader consequences of her actions. Her betrayal set into motion a series of events that led to Samson's capture, his humiliation, and eventually his death. While the Philistines celebrated their victory, the personal and spiritual costs of her choices were immeasurable. By betraying Samson, Delilah underestimated the depth of the damage she was causing. She not only destroyed a man chosen by God but also played a role in undermining the divine mission he was called to fulfill. This lack of foresight highlights the dangers of focusing solely on immediate rewards without considering the long-term impact of one's actions. The far-reaching impact of betrayal. Betrayal often has consequences that extend far beyond the immediate moment. In Delilah's case, her actions affected multiple spheres. 1. The emotional toll on Samson. Samson's trust in Delilah was deeply personal. By betraying him, she inflicted emotional and spiritual wounds that compounded his physical suffering. Trust, once broken, leaves scars that can last a lifetime. 2. The broader conflict. Delilah's betrayal gave the Philistines a temporary victory, but it ultimately fueled Samson's resolve. In his final act, Samson brought down the Philistine temple, killing many of their leaders and delivering a blow to their power. Delilah's actions, rather than securing long-term peace for the Philistines, contributed to further conflict. 3. Her own legacy. While Delilah may have enjoyed the wealth she received, her name has become synonymous with treachery and greed. She is remembered not as a hero or a woman of integrity, but as a symbol of betrayal. Her story serves as a cautionary tale, warning others of the dangers of prioritizing selfish desires over lasting values. The personal cost of betrayal. What Delilah likely did not anticipate was how her actions would reflect back on her own character and legacy. Betrayal often has a way of returning to the betrayer, leaving them isolated and without meaningful relationships. In choosing wealth over loyalty, Delilah severed ties with someone who genuinely cared for her and aligned herself with people who valued her only as a tool for their own purposes. Her story underscores a timeless truth: the choices we make shape the way we are remembered. By acting out of greed and self-interest, Delilah forfeited the opportunity to build a legacy of love, loyalty, and respect. Instead, her name has become a warning, a reminder of the destructive power of betrayal. Lessons on considering consequences. Delilah's story offers valuable lessons about the importance of considering the long-term impact of our decisions and actions. Here are 3 key takeaways. 1. Think beyond immediate gains. It is easy to focus on short-term rewards, but the true measure of a decision lies in its lasting effects. Delilah's betrayal brought her wealth but cost her much more in terms of integrity and legacy. When making decisions, it is essential to consider how they will affect not just the present but also the future. Person being betrayed, it also leaves lasting damage on the betrayer. Delilah's actions not only destroyed her relationship with Samson but also tainted her own character. Trust and loyalty are priceless, and once lost, they are difficult to regain. 3. Legacy is built on values, the way we are remembered is shaped by the values we uphold and the choices we make. By prioritizing material wealth over spiritual principles, Delilah created a legacy of infamy rather than honor. Her story challenges us to think about what kind of legacy we want to leave behind. Reflection questions. As we reflect on Delilah's lack of awareness of the consequences of her actions, it is worth asking ourselves, do we consider the long-term impact of our decisions? Or are we focused only on immediate rewards? How do our actions reflect our values and priorities? What steps can we take to ensure that our choices align with the legacy we wish to leave? Delilah's story is a powerful reminder of the importance of foresight and integrity. By learning from her mistakes, we can strive to make decisions that honor our relationships, reflect our values, and build a lasting legacy of trust and respect. Let us be mindful of the impact of our actions, ensuring that they contribute to a future that is meaningful and enduring. The story of Delilah and Samson is one of betrayal, greed, and the devastating consequences of misplaced priorities. As we have explored in this video, Delilah's 5 key actions provide timeless lessons for our lives and relationships. Let us summarize these actions and reflect on the wisdom they impart. 1. Exploiting trust for personal gain. Delilah used her position of trust with Samson to serve her own interests. Her betrayal teaches us the importance of honesty and trust in relationships and the damage caused when we exploit others for selfish reasons. 2. Persistence in wrongdoing. Delilah's relentless pursuit of Samson's secret, despite multiple failures, reminds us that persistence must align with ethical and moral goals. Determination without integrity can lead to harmful outcomes. 3. Betraying someone who loved you. By revealing Samson's secret and orchestrating his capture, Delilah inflicted emotional and spiritual harm on the man who loved her. Her actions highlight how betrayal destroys relationships and undermines one's character. 4. Prioritizing material gain over spiritual values. Delilah's choice to prioritize wealth over loyalty and love underscores the fleeting nature of material possessions compared to the enduring value of spiritual principles and integrity. 5. Lack of awareness of consequences. Delilah's failure to consider the long-term effects of her actions serves as a cautionary tale. Decisions made without foresight can have far-reaching impacts on others and tarnish one's legacy. Delilah's story challenges us to examine our own lives and relationships. Are we living with integrity and prioritizing values that truly matter? Have we ever placed personal gain above the well-being of others? And are we mindful of the long-term consequences of our decisions? These are questions worth pondering as we strive to grow and improve. Take a moment to reflect on your own actions. Are there areas where you can build more trust, act with greater integrity, or align your goals with ethical principles? Learning from Delilah's mistakes can help us avoid similar pitfalls and strengthen the bonds we share with others. We hope this exploration of Delilah's actions and their lessons has been thought-provoking and insightful. Now, it's time to take action. Here's how you can contribute. 1. Share the video. If this content resonated with you, share it with your friends, family, and community. Let's spread the message and encourage meaningful conversations about trust, integrity, and relationships. 2. Leave your thoughts in the comments. We would love to hear from you. What lessons stood out to you the most? Have you faced similar challenges in your life? Your reflections and stories can inspire others and foster a supportive community. 3. Apply the lessons. Knowledge is most powerful when put into practice. Take the lessons from Delilah's story and apply them to your daily life. Strive to build relationships based on honesty, respect, and mutual understanding. Prioritize spiritual values over material gain and make decisions with long-term consequences in mind. Delilah's story may be one of betrayal and loss, but it also offers us a roadmap for growth and self-awareness. By understanding her actions and learning from her mistakes, we can strengthen our relationships, live with greater purpose, and leave a legacy of love and integrity. Thank you for watching and engaging with this content. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more insights and lessons from timeless stories. Together, we can build a community that values trust, integrity, and spiritual growth. See you in the next video.